Why, hello, Midway Piper here. It is really bright and sunny out here. Whew. All right. Anyways, I hope all is going well. It's been a while since I've done a religious video, and today's going to be one of those days. So, before I jump into that, real quick, housekeeping. Pest Canoe, ride a Kia Flake 20. It's actually hitting the spot today. You guys might know from the last video, my parents and brother were here visiting last week. And everyone in the house this week, and my mom, apparently, all have colds now. So, yeah, good times. But, anyways. Two things I wanted to discuss today. One is actually going to be a reading. But before that, I've mentioned him in a previous video. He does sort of morning messages. Christopher Atkinson. I follow him on Facebook, but I think he's also on YouTube and TikTok, and I'll link to his YouTube channel as well. I think Facebook and TikTok, I think, are the two that he normally posts on most regularly. And I was going back and watching some of his more recent morning message videos that I've missed. And there was one just a couple days ago that really hit me, especially coming off of the other thing I want to share with you guys. And he was essentially saying that, a lot of us are so focused on the future, worries, concerns about what's going to happen in the future, that we're missing what God is doing for us in the here and now. We're so focused on that thing that's concerning us next week that we're missing what he's actually doing for us today. And that hit me. That hit me pretty hard. It may not come across in my videos, but I am a worrier. I've always got something in my mind coming up that I'm concerned about, much to the detriment of the here and now, for sure. So that hit me pretty hard, hearing it said out like that. So just wanted to share that. Guessing that a lot of us are probably in a similar boat. So just want to take a quick second to share that. The other thing I wanted to share is actually, I believe he shared a video. I think it was him. That got me into checking out pastor of a church in Jacksonville, Florida, Joby Martin. Got me looking at some of his stuff online, and if you're not familiar with Joby Martin, I want to recommend, because phenomenal human being. To the best I can tell. I don't obviously know him, but his messages have been hitting real hard over the last couple of weeks. Picked up a couple of his books. He's got 3 books out right now. The third one is arriving today. And then he's got a book coming out, I think, in October, on acting like men, in the biblical sense and what that actually means. But he's also published this book, Anything is Possible, How 9 miracles of Jesus reveal God's love for you. Joby Martin, that's his name. And in the book that I just finished reading, and I highly, 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 highly recommend this book. And that is Run Over by the Grace Train. You need to read this book. I highly recommend it. Run Over by the Grace Train, How Unstoppable Love of God Transforms Everything. This book was absolutely amazing. And I want to read a little passage of it to you. There's the author, Joby Martin. I want to read you just a little passage, actually, from the end of the book, the epilogue. Because, yeah, it's a good summary of what this book is about. And it hit hard. If you're into audiobooks at all, get this on audio. He actually narrates it himself. If you're not into reading books, you just go on. You're already on YouTube. Just search Joby Martin. There's tons of sermons. There's tons of interviews with him. Podcasts. There's so much content online with him. He does an amazing job of getting content out in various regards, whether it's his own podcast or through the church or, countless other podcasts. I don't care. If you're at all religious, obviously, especially Christian, I would highly recommend checking out some of his stuff. So I just want to read you a little bit of the epilogue from this book. I know we're starting from the back. Oh well. The scandal of grace is that mercy triumphs over judgment. After his resurrection, when Jesus meets the disciples on the beach with a charcoal fire, he is recreating the same scene where Peter denied that he even knew who Jesus was. This is a do-over. He hands Peter a plate of fish and then asks him 3 times, "Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me?" And Peter's like, I see what you're doing here. I denied you 3 times. But apparently, I can't out-deny your grace, because your grace poured out at the cross exceeds whatever sin I can bring to the equation here. Some of you need to hear that. We're a couple hundred pages in, and it still hasn't sunk in, so let me be blunt. You cannot out-deny, out-sin, out-betray, or out-offend the grace of Jesus, which he lavishly poured on us at the cross. And yes, if you are on death row, that includes you, because here's the truth. We're all on death row, dead in our sin, awaiting an impending execution. Then, Jesus. His grace exceeds any and all of your sin. It's not even a competition. Some of you say, yeah, but you don't know what I've done. You're right, but I don't. But he does. And he still pours out grace upon grace. Maybe the real question is whether you will ever get over yourself and receive it. Yep. While I was writing this book, my son JP was finishing his junior year in high school. One morning he was driving to school with his sister, Reagan, my 13-year-old, in the seat next to him. They came out of the neighborhood, took a right, drove out 2 or 3 lights, and then got in the left lane where they were in the pole position, first in line, nobody in front of them. His light was red. He was just chilling. I'm pretty sure they were not listening to worship music and sharing prayer requests. You know what I mean? He's 17, she's 13, just regular normal kids on the way to school. Out of nowhere, a truck ran the red light and T-boned this little sedan. Boom, right in front of them. The sedan flipped over and then slid 30 or 40 yards in the corner gas station. On instinct, JP put his car in park, said, "Reagan, stay here," popped out and ran across the traffic to the car that flipped over. The car was mangled. 4 women inside were screaming at the top of their lungs. There was blood everywhere. The people in the front were able to crawl out, but the people in the back were hanging upside down by their seatbelts. Tried to open the door, but it was mangled and wouldn't really open up. Another grown man ran over, and the 2 of them managed to strong-arm the door open. One lady had a big gash in her head, and her leg was broken, just mangled, turned up like a candy cane. JP got her unbuckled. She hit the ground. He put his arms under her armpits and dragged her out. She looked at him, blood still pouring everywhere, and she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And she was still screaming because of the pain. So I just asked JP, "Who else was helping you? What was everyone else doing?" And then his tone began to change. He said, "Daddy, what is wrong with people?" I said, "What do you mean, dude?" And he said, "I'm a 17-year-old kid. I'm a junior in high school. There was another person helping me. And when I get this lady out, there were a whole bunch of adults standing around in a circle, and everybody had their phone out, and everybody's just videoing for YouTube." And he began to get a bit agitated. I mean, he's got some of me in him, right? "Dad, what is wrong with people? Man, they're grown people, and I'm a kid. I'm a junior in high school, and it's me and one other man doing the thing that everybody else is just videoing." And he said, "Those people, they're a bunch of," you could tell that he wanted to just choose what word he's going to share with his preacher father. And he began, "These people are," I jumped in, "Just say it, dude." And he said it. And yeah, there were some adjectives followed by a noun of sorts. Those people were a bunch of, and it was the perfect description for that moment. To which I said, "You're dang right they were, buddy. You're dang right. And while they were paralyzed in fear, bro, you weren't. Good job playing the man. Good job playing the man. Because you were, you are, and they weren't." Later that night, I asked Reagan, "What happened?" Now, to be honest, my 13-year-old is not in the habit of giving superlatives to her brother. You know what I'm talking about? You got teenagers? I said, "Baby, what happened today?" She put down her phone. She looked deep in my eyes and said, "Daddy, JP's a hero." That's right, a hero. And he was, and is. Church should be the kind of place where when the car flips over, we run to the blood. We turn to screaming, we run to the lost. We run to the hurting, we run to the people. Where everybody else may be making videos about them, not us, man. We run to the mayhem. Not from it. JP later told me, "Daddy, all I could think was that if I was if I was in that car, I would sure want someone to help me." I'm not suggesting you and I are heroes. Jesus is the hero of our story. When we get T-boned, blood everywhere, leg mangled, he ran toward the wreckage of our lives and dragged us from the scene. Triaged our wounds, stopped the bleeding, comforted our soul, got us to the hospital. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, at great expense to himself, came on a rescue mission for you and me, dragging us from the death of life and calls us son. From beggar to heir in a nanosecond. That's it. Run over by the grace train. And when you get run over by the grace train, our heart beats for the thing that God's heart beats for. You can't earn it and you don't deserve it. But that matters not at all to Jesus. He pours it out anyway. All of us are no different than the thief on the cross next to Jesus. Last time, here's the truth. There is more grace in Jesus than sin in you and me. If you believe otherwise, then you mock his cross and you're saying it didn't work, not good enough. When according to Jesus, his death on the cross was perfect and perfectly fulfilled the law and perfectly forgave all of our sin for all time and perfectly rescued us and perfectly brought us back into relationship with him. And now our Father perfectly makes us sons and daughters, heirs of God. That's the result of his grace. Jesus rescued all of us who believe from the hotel of fire. The singular thing that sets the gospel of Jesus apart from every other religion is grace. Only grace. And not cheap grace, but the kind of grace that requires the death of the Son of God. Will you receive it? Yep. What do you think of that? Again, run over by the Grace Trade. Check it out. Check out anything you can find on Joby Martin. I'll drop a couple links to stuff in the comments below. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Yeah. Got a couple other things to discuss, but this is not the video for them, so they'll be coming down the road shortly. But for now, hope you all have a good one. Take it easy. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.